Who else has question, please?
Who is Ed?
Who is it?
My name is Ed.
Ed, you must speak much louder, but welcome.
Oh, thank you. Question on visitations. People have visitations, and I'd like to know who those ones are. Specifically, I had one 41 years ago when I was 19, where I got invited to a praise and prayer session with a bunch of Christians in campus. I had somebody show up for me.
You had someone show up for you. That's what we didn't hear. All right. Was it
just in pure love?
Energy, physical being?
It was non-physical, but he showed up in the space next to the girl who had invited me to the meeting at the end of the meeting.
And what kind of meeting was it?
It was a Christian praise and prayer session.
All right, that's what we were getting after. We didn't hear that part. So you were at a Christian prayer meeting session,
yes.
And basically what these people were doing, praying, was running energy.
Right, but it was after everybody left.
Yes, but they had already conditioned the space with energy. Do you understand that? So that if you were to go to Mecca, for example, if you were Muslim and you were to complete your hajjat and go to Mecca, which is required to go in once in a lifetime, and you were to move around the stone, the Kaaba, you would, with the people in their belief system, be conditioning the space. And then after all the people left, there was an energy around this, all right? And so this is what you were dealing with, the energy that had been built, which attracted a being. And you're saying the being was good being?
Yes.
And did it feel human to you?
It was an impartation of just love. And I was so empty and afraid of life back at that time. But for 20 minutes it went on. I just cried like a baby and couldn't even stand. But when I got up, there was a whole new possibility in life. I never saw him again, but it put me on a whole new path.
Well, we would say that visitation in that capacity was part of your higher self. When people say visitation, they're often talking about an extraterrestrial visitation. That's why we were not clear with you.
And that's why I'm asking, because who was that masked man? You know.
That you are talking about a soul level higher self. Some would call it a guardian angel of sorts, but to understand, the angels were the Anunnakis. That's where the idea of the angels came from. It's the extraterrestrials visiting. And it was the angels who went to Sodom and Gomorrah. And it was the angels who again announced and said to Lot and his wife, come, come. There's going to be destruction here. The God's mad, and God bombed or used nuclear weapons, and basically we could take that story back to Enlil and his progeny, and to say that again, disappointment in the human experiment on a sexual level, that was all about, and blowing it up and destroying it. So angels, we use that term very loosely because technically angels are the extraterrestrial visitors. When you have a being who is pure love, that is often part of the soul manifestation or the highest self, the guide of the self that comes in and to put you on a path, and to do it only once, really big, so it completely changes the course of your life. This is common with many people. And when people pray, and you are in a prayerful sort of conditioned space, then it raises the vibration, and beings of a higher vibration will come in. You understand?
Okay.
So understand this. In a church, if a priest or someone was leading the people, and they were pure of heart, and even though they were saying rote Christian prayers, which would be a ritual, because anything repeated again is a ritual. So when you use the same recipe, I can't change this recipe, my mom made the pie this way, don't put 1/8 of a teaspoon in, put 1/4 of a teaspoon in, that's her recipe. That's a ritual. It's done again and again, and it builds energy. A ceremony is a little looser. You can change the recipe in a ceremony. A Christian church, a Catholic church operates with a ritual. And if the people were all of the heart chakra, and they were calling in and building love and calling in the divine purpose and the highest end, they would build a sacred space that would be incredible. So it's not so much the institution, it's the intent of the people. You understand?
Yeah.
And then that space is filled with the love and the caring and the heart of the people, and then it can draw in higher forces of being who will guide you and put you on a path. Sometimes it can be a relative. A relative will come in, a relative maybe that none of you have ever met. A deceased great-great-grandparent or some being that has been on a path that cares about your bloodline will come in from the spirit realm and ring your doorbell, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are blessed with these events because they are rare and you remember them. Who else has questions, please?